All right, guys. So Legend of Korra has officially been 10 years since its existence.
Woo!
10 years.
Yeah, well, that's a long time.
Yeah,
we're old people, man.
And we figured that we're going to celebrate it by actually making a tier list. Since we did an Avatar tier list, it's like, why not do Korra? So, yeah, let's begin.
Okay.
All right, so we found this tier list online. We're just gonna go off of this one. Doesn't have like every single character, but has the most important ones. I have no idea why they have Aang here. Like,
I guess he's a character who appears in Korra.
I guess. I mean, older Aang is different from younger Aang, I suppose.
Right.
Yes, for sure. But I guess, who do we want to start off with first?
We can go in order if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, is it fair that Aang is on here? I mean, because he's an automatic S tier, I would.
I think Aang should be an A tier.
What?
It's. I just think his utility in the show.
So you're saying within the show he's an A tier?
Yes, because we're talking about Legend of Korra. We're not talking about the whole Avatar universe. If it was a whole Avatar universe,
that's how you want to judge it. You know, we're gonna vote. You know, like best 2 out of 3, right?
Fair. Sure, yeah, that's how we did the last time. But I'm calling him A for Aang, you know? So.
I'm saying S tier because he flies around on an air scooter standing on it instead of like crouching, and then he just takes away people's bendings. That's what he does in Korra.
Yeah, I feel like at the point of Korra, he becomes like a mythical figure. I have to stick with S tier.
Like what other Avatar does that? Like none. No other Avatar just straight up goes around, takes away people's bending. That's like permanent justice right there.
Yeah.
All right. So Amon's next one.
Yeah.
He also takes away people's bending.
Well, if we're going based on people's bending, then I guess Amon has to be an S tier because he took away
that is
people's
not
bedding.
the same reasoning.
He took away people's bedding for justice. So
Amon had so much potential.
Yes, he does.
He had so much potential, but I think it got squandered at the end, which is disappointing. So I don't know if I part of me wants to go B tier.
Nah.
I would put him at least A.
Yeah,
You
me
put
too.
him at A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not mad at that.
It's not the fact that he can take away people's bending. I mean, that was pretty cool, but it's more of his impression of like
he forced a very interesting philosophical debate for the fans of Avatar, which I loved. Which is, part of the whole setup of his character, and I think part of the disappointment of finding out who he really is. So I would say that, like, for all the everything up until the last episode of season 1, he's an A tier character, and if that works, then fine. I'm cool with putting him at A tier.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a badass character. I love the character. Even the backstory is fine with me personally.
Yeah, I have nothing against this story. I mean, obviously the outcome is not what I like, but overall, exactly. His character is not a bad thing. I don't blame him for it.
I wish he had a more lasting effect throughout the rest of the seasons, but that's one of the reasons he's not an S for me. All right. Do you want to just keep going in order, or do you want to?
We could do whatever way we want it. We can be random.
Okay. Why don't we do the lesser, like?
Let's save Team Avatar for last.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with Sato. What do you think about Sato?
I'll put him a C.
See?
Yeah.
Man, dude, he sacrificed himself to save everyone.
But he was a traitor.
It's true. He was a traitor. The way he acted in season 1, not to mention he almost killed Asami. Like, bruh.
Yeah.
But you guys are. I feel like you guys are ignoring season 4.
If it wasn't for season 4, I would put him a D. So I'm putting him a C. So C implies that he had progression.
Sure.
All right. I'm like in between B and C.
I think C is fair.
All right. Overruled. How about General Iroh? He was only in what, 2 seasons?
3 seasons.
3 seasons.
Yeah, I'd put him B because his utility. Season 1 he was definitely useful. Season 2 was just kind of like they just kind of made him.
He just stood there, right?
Yeah, he just stood there basically. And then season 4, kind of the same thing, but at least season 4 he did something. Season 2 he really did do much. Yeah. So B is probably
B seems like the neutral position.
Yeah, he made a good impression in the first season.
Yeah.
I just wish they used him more, to be honest, but I guess they had Mako, so.
Yeah, he should have been Mako's replacement.
All right, guys. Earth Queen right here, right?
Yeah, she's definitely S tier. We love Earth Queen.
We better drop that down to D. My goodness.
But And I
That's
don't
a
know.
D tier.
She's definitely a D tier.
If I ever seen
Our
one.
first D tier person.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. we've made a line right here, a column.
I'm so happy about this.
Yeah, Earth Queen, you know, she was just there to get killed by Amon.
Basically.
I mean, not Amon, sorry, Zahir.
Zahir. Yeah, Zahir.
Yeah. All right, Tarlock.
This is interesting. I might put him. It's a tie for me between B or C because
I feel like he's a B. He has an interesting story. Like especially with Amon, it's just like he tried to do it the other way, you know?
Yeah.
And he's just like a foil to him. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I think, to be honest, he's an underrated villain within the series. Because I feel like with Legend of Korra, one thing they always did, although in season 4 he wasn't a villain, is they always like to have an opposing antagonist that kind of proves the other side's point, right? So Amon, it was Tarlock. In season 2, you can make the argument it was sort of Korra's father, although it wasn't as strong, or Varrick. Varrick would probably be it. And then season 3 was the Earth Queen. So it's like, yeah, I felt like in that nature.
That's an interesting point. I hadn't thought about that before.
Yeah, so I think Tarlock was definitely a good villain or antagonist.
OC?
I will say that he was a good villain. But there's part of his character that like has always felt flat to me. I think that probably is what keeps it away from reaching the level of Amon at A tier. So I definitely would keep it at least B tier.
Yeah, B.
All right, B is fine. Okay, just Sokka.
Okay. Again, as much as I want to say S, because last time we said Sokka was S. Again, I'm gonna have to be utility here. I feel like if he wasn't much. Unfortunately, he was not much use in this series. So because of that, I would have to put.
Look, man, he just
B.
talked about his trusty boomerang. That's enough for me. Like,
Well, that's fine. But as far as the series, I'd put him around a B just because it's like that's.
all right, OC, what do you think?
Yeah, this is hard judging the original cast based on their appearance in Korra. Yeah, I mean, he died really early, so that might make him B tier.
Although, if I have to give Sokka one note, he did help put the Red Lotus in jail. If I remember, that's what they said.
But that's not in
he's
the
probably
show.
part of it, yeah.
So
Yeah.
so. Yeah, sure, B tier.
Oh, come on, guys.
This
I tried, guys. I tried.
This does not reflect on our view of the original team after
Yes.
we've already done a tier video on them. Like, watch
One day we will make a tier list of the whole series, and then we will, put
All right,
Sokka.
we might as well just do the old cast then. Toph, obviously.
It's a S
S tier.
tier. There's no question that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about it at all, like, during Avatar, but, like, during Korra, Toph still made a huge appearance, and she had a great presence in the show as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she even beat up a villain, like, the main villain of season 4, Kuvira, so...
Yeah. She got the feats there.
Yeah. Batara.
I'll put her S still.
Ooh,
S or
okay.
A. It's a tie. I think part of me wants to say S because I feel like the wisdom she gave during season 4 was really nice.
Yeah, her rehabilitating Korra was essential.
Although my only caveat was what was she doing during book 2? Because I feel like book 2 she would have had a good opinion during this whole Civil War between
she tried
tribes.
to stay out of it.
I know, but I feel like that was.
It.
I think Toph mentioned that, but I feel like that was the show's justification to be like, what the creator's justification of why Katara wasn't in it. I don't think it was really because she really didn't want to be involved. It was just the creators were like, oh, we should have we forgot Katara should be talking about the Civil War. What good excuse we can make?
So maybe A.
I'll put A just because I feel like she should have been part of that Civil War.
Any issues, OC?
I don't have any issues with that. A is good.
Okay. Let's see. Zuko.
Let's time out for 1 second.
Okay, time out. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wants to just say S because of it's Zuko, but
he gets its ass beat.
Well, it's not just that. It's just
No, I was very upset about that scene, by the way. I mean, I feel like I mention it all the time.
Yeah, he's
It
old.
doesn't matter if he's old. Like Bumi kicked ass when he was older. So
Bumi's a
Bumi.
special exception.
Let's not compare everyone to Bumi. Yeah,
he's the exception to the rule.
yeah.
So
I don't know.
I guess A would be fair.
Sozin also seemed pretty darn strong too when he was older.
Yeah, but he wasn't like. How old was Zuko?
He wasn't fighting the Red Lotus. If Sozin was fighting the Red Lotus, it'd be a different
Zuko was
story.
younger than Sozin when he stopped the volcano.
Yeah, he's not an avatar.
Yeah, I think A would be perfect for Zuko.
Yeah, all they needed to do was just like not have him fall on his ass, and I would have been happy. You know, like just dodge the fire, or like, or just get stalled by it. But like they just had to put him on his ass. I was so upset about that.
Hey man, at least he was going out trying to stop the Red Lotus with his age.
guess.
Unlike Katara, who did nothing during the Silver War.
Civil War, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's everyone from the previous cast. I don't see anyone
Well,
else.
unless you want to talk about Iroh.
Oh, right, Iroh.
I love how they have the same picture.
Yeah, let's just put him in S and be done with it.
We're done with it. There's no discussion about this.
All right, original cast is settled.
Awesome.
Unless we're considering Rava part of the original cast.
No, Rava was not part of the original cast.
No, we're not considering that.
Let's do animals. Naga.
I feel like Naga's an A.
Yeah, you feel like she...
I can't put her in S.
I would put Naga B.
I don't know. Naga was just not as much of a presence as, like, say...
Appa or
yeah,
even
Appa.
Moro.
Yeah, but I feel
Yeah.
like there was, I don't know, the utility of Naga was still definitely, especially in the season 1, was very
She was useful. She was good. I don't know if she's like A level good though. I think I would say B.
What makes an A level good? I'm curious.
A level, we're talking about very impactful, but just like a couple of drawbacks.
Good drawbacks.
Which is that's why I'm
Yeah.
comparing
I think-
to Amon. And so with B level, it's like, okay, she was there, she was good, but there's nothing really special about.
Yeah, I think
Naga.
the thing is, yeah, exactly, special, right? She doesn't have enough personality to make her stand out compared to Momo or Appa, so I agree.
So basically, we needed a Tales of Naga episode, and then
Yeah,
everyone
that'd be
cried.
great.
Exactly.
If you got a Tales of Naga.
let's put it this way: if you guys read the comics, there is a comic story where it shows why Naga and Korra are friends, because essentially Korra never had a friend. Naga was the only friend Korra had until she met Team Avatar. So
Interesting.
Wow.
Well, I guess
So
we're
that-
basing it off of the show.
that's
so
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right, Pabu.
Pabu cannot be a B. I'm sorry.
Really?
Pabu is like a C in my eyes.
Okay.
But then Pabu helped Bolin earn money, dude.
It
Like,
did,
that's-
but I feel like I can't say Naga and Pabu are the same level. Like, Naga to me is more useful than Pabu in the series.
All right, well, there's 3 of us, so what do you think, IC?
I feel like they're the same level. I don't
Alright.
think one is better than the other. That's my opinion. So you're the tiebreaker.
Yeah, you broke it, so it's...
Jeez, I just kind of think Pabu's cute, you know? Like, I'll put him in B just for that reason. Reminds me of Momo a little bit. Listens to Bolin's, helpful to Bolin. Yeah, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Do you want to do Palma? Tenzin's wife.
Pema?
Yeah, Tenzin's wife.
Where's she?
She's like next to...
Over here.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is tough. I might put her a B. I put her a B because... even though she wasn't super useful, she did train Milo, which is something. And I feel like for someone who's a non-bender and not from the air tribe, she knew how to... I just feel like she was a good match for Tenzin. As much as I would
She
like
was
to
an
see...
air acolyte, right?
Yeah, air acolyte. So she had an interesting perspective in this
Yeah.
series.
I mean, yeah, I just feel like her presence wasn't that large in anything with season 1.
Season 4, she did help with the whole getting people out.
So where are you putting her, Chuku?
I'm putting her a B.
B's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was debating between B and C, but B is fine with me. Let's see. Okay, let's go with the kids. Milo.
Oh my god. I want to say A.
I want to say A or S. Probably A, to be fair.
Hey, let's be A.
Yeah,
He's no
let's-
S tier.
No,
He's
not
not
S
S
tier. A,
He's
I'm okay
A.
with A.
A's a tier. Yeah, we like Eel.
Yeah, great humor, great scenes.
Funniest person. One of the literally the funniest persons inside that family.
Iki?
I'll probably put a B. She didn't really do much.
Iki, all right? Iki, not Icky.
Icky. Iki.
Why B? She didn't.
I just don't think she was that. I mean,
Because
she didn't really do
developed-
much.
No, I'm thinking of the other one. The other one was the one
Jinora?
who's astral.
Jinora, yes, Jinora. This is-
okay, yeah. I got my.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Iki is fine in B. She was cool. Like, her personality's
Yeah.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Like I would think she's a cool like little sister or little like cousin, you know. She reminds me of my little cousins.
She
basically.
kind of does remind me a little bit of Aang in some ways. Iki,
Yeah.
the way she talks super fast and whatnot.
In my opinion, Janora's like S tier.
This is hard. I want to say so, but the other part of me wants to put her in A. I'm trying to think what exactly.
Without Jinora, Korra would be dead, all right?
There are moments like that. Yeah, Jinora
What do you mean
did.
moments like that? Literally the last fight in season 2.
The last 2, yeah. She did help her find the light in the dark. There's that moment.
She also guided her in the spirit world, and
That's
okay,
true.
you know what? We'll just put
there were
her
things
S.
there were things in book 3 too where they could not have found, like, say, Kai and the others without
that's
Jinora's
true. Without
power.
Jinora, that's
fair.
true. That's
She doesn't
fair.
really have any drawbacks now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, that's fair. We can put her in S.
Yeah, let's do S.
All right,
Welcome
I have
to S
convince
tier
you guys.
Jinora.
All right, let's see. Those were all there's no baby Rohan here, so those were all the kids. We can do Kai, I suppose.
Yeah.
I like his development. I'd say this is tough.
I'd say
I'm
A
gonna have to
tier.
put him a B though.
You say B?
Yeah, I want to put him in A, but I just don't feel like they did much with him for him to be an A.
I thought he was a really interesting character for somebody who was introduced so late in the show. I think he stands out for me particularly. That's why I put him in A tier. I think he had a really big impact.
Yeah, I kind of wish he had like a bigger moment other than fleeing on the kid bison.
Yeah.
I just feel like he could have had a bigger moment that really settled him in A tier for me.
Yeah, me too. That's why I
I like
put
his
him
character
in
a lot, for sure. And I loved his introduction and sort of like his growth arc. But at the same time, I feel like A is not quite justified. Like, I'm
Yeah.
looking at everyone else in A and I'm like, is he as impactful as Amon? I don't feel like he is. So it's hard.
fair.
I wish there was a tier in between A and B. I would have put him there.
Yeah, same with me.
All right. Sorry, OC, you're over.
No, I'm good.
It's okay.
It's all good. And then I guess we gotta go Tenzin's the last of the airbending squad.
Well, technically we have how can I forget her
Opal.
name already? Opal.
So let's just go with Tenzin and then we can do Opal next. But Tenzin's definitely S or A.
This is hard. I really wanna. I'm gonna be honest. I'm 90% on S. There is a 10% where I might put him as an A.
I mean, he was very, very useful and essential to the story in season 1. Not as much in season 2, but
I like his character development in season 2.
Exactly,
To me,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
one of the best things that happened with him. And then season 3, his fight was pretty. He had one of the amazing fights, and I
Yeah.
love the fight between him and Zahir. And then even in season 4, the fight that, despite that he was just kind of like there to give Korra small wisdom, it still was useful. But my problem is he didn't really do much in season 4 other than just be like a soundboard for like, you're the greatest avatar we've had in many generations. And it was just kind of like, I don't know. It's interesting.
yeah, but 3 seasons of greatness and then 1 not, you know? I feel like after you've mentioned all that and reminded me of it, I feel like he's an S.
Okay, fair. We'll give
The
it.
fact that he got beat up by, 3 members of the Red Lotus and sort of held his own against like Zahir for a very long time.
I mean, he was
he basically
destroying
beat
the
Zahir,
Zahir.
yeah.
Yes, he was
Yeah.
owning him. He was showing him real airbending.
I think the fact that J.K. Simmons is voicing him is also like
That's all.
It's
It's
a
J.K.
strong
Simmons.
positive. Strong
Okay,
positive. So yeah,
okay.
I would say S is good.
All right.
Also
Oh yeah,
cool.
Opal.
Opal.
I personally like her character a lot, so I would say A minimum.
I hate when this does this. Yeah, I can't put her. It's hard for me to put her. I'm debating between A or B because although I do like her character a lot, I
She's
don't know.
like- she's
Season
like
4
Toph's-
made me not like her. To be
She's
honest,
Toph's granddaughter and she's an airbender, like just think about that combination. That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. But
Wait,
I
what
don't know.
about season 4 made her not like
I mean, the way she hated Kuvira, and I understand why she hated it, but it just came off of too much, like to the point where the way she treated Bolin after it was just like,
I
could
thought
you
it
not
was
see-
brilliant.
Yeah.
I love the way that she was like, dude, why are you working with this person who's freaking trying to conquer the whole Earth Kingdom?
Yeah, but like, it just seems like she doesn't understand Like, I would imagine her to understand where Bolin was coming from. It didn't seem like that. And it just seemed like she went from being like the way her attitude was like, in season 3, she seemed very humble and sweet to just like, she just seemed angry, which I get where she was coming from, but it just, I don't know. I would have liked more of an empath. Like, literally, the only reason why she's back with Bolin's because Bolin helped her. She used Bolin's guilt to help her with her family, which to me is a little bit not cool.
I mean, it kind of is Bolin's like
It
fault
is
for
his
not realizing
fault, but
it.
to be like, I'm gonna use your guilt, like, because to me that makes me think that if he didn't use if he didn't do it, she would never be back with him. And I don't think that's like a healthy relationship where it's like, okay, well, you know what? If you have
Bro, this is war, all right?
It is a war, but like, yeah, it's war. Look, I'm not saying
if your girlfriend's family got captured, would you not try to do all you can to help her?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not the issue. The issue is the idea of like, this guy is so, I don't really like this guy, but he's willing to do all this, so I'm gonna utilize his like desperateness to want to be with me to help my family.
I didn't get that. I didn't feel that,
because personally. That's basically, that was the way, because she did say, well, there is one thing you can win me back, which to me it makes it seem like, which I get where on one hand it's like him trying to own up for a mistake, but on the other hand it comes off as like, to me it just doesn't seem, I don't know, just comes off less genuine of like, oh, I like him, versus like, okay, he fixed this, he's good now, you know. It's like,
I mean, they're past that point. They're in a relationship. To me, it's fine. It's just like the way they were interacting as like a couple.
What are you thinking, Chuku? Where do you want?
I would put her, but more B.
Yeah, I was B this whole time.
So. All right, that's fine. Okay. That's fine. All right. Moving on. We don't have to keep repeating the points. Okay. Okay. Batara Jr.
I'd say a C. I would put him a D, but I do think I understood where he was coming from with Kuvira and whatnot. So I think C is fair.
Yeah. I mean, he got fooled.
I put him at D. He got fooled. Yeah.
I mean, he's not as bad as the Earth Queen.
Fine, whatever.
It's not the worst.
C is okay, whatever. Fine, C.
Let's go with Earth people. Let's see. Okay, Sue.
Oh man, this is hard. I want to say S, but something, I don't know. I feel like when we think of all these other people and how they play in Korra's life, Sue, although she had her moments, I don't think she's up there with all the other people up there. No. So I'm gonna have to put her at A, but I want to put S because it's like she's definitely a strong house.
A is fine with me.
All right.
She's pretty badass, but again, like I feel like she needed a bit more to reach.
Yeah,
S.
exactly.
Sister Lynn.
Lynn's got S. There's no way we can get around this. She's an S tier.
Yeah, I gotta go with S.
All right.
Spider Lynn is always my favorite moment.
What?
Spider.
The part where she was like literally when when Mon's people and attack the arena, and she was kind of like Spider-Man the whole time.
Gotcha.
That was a great scene.
Best scene.
Okay, I'm looking for anyone else that might be part of that family, but I think that was it.
Yeah. Should we get rid of Raiko, President Raiko?
Where is he?
He's right far there. Okay. I think he should be a D, no lie. I didn't like President Raiko. Every season he got worse and worse. Like,
yeah, he was pretty useless this season, like in all of them actually. He didn't really do much.
Exactly. He was just there to complain.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about putting him in D.
Me neither.
He should be a D. Zahir should have killed him.
Let's just do the villains.
Oh man, our next D, Unalaq.
First off, the worst one.
He should be a D.
Really? You think he should be a D? Not like C? I feel like he at least had more like presence than these two, and then at least matched Batara Jr.
But like anybody could have been, I feel like he could be replaceable in terms of his plan. Like anybody could have, like Vaatu can use anybody.
He was replaceable, but I think he's not as bad as D. He's bad. He's a bad character in my opinion. So I would be fine with leaving him as C. Yeah, there's not a lot.
But when I look at these two characters, like let's take Batara Jr. and then we have what's his name? My God, I can't believe I'm forgetting your Asami's father's name.
Sato.
Sato, yeah. Let's those two. At least they kind of had a redemption. Unalaq had no redemption.
That's okay.
Yeah, but Unalaq at least has more depth. You know, he wants to bring Vaatu back for personal gain and like just trying to supposedly balance out the spirits again. He sort of also taught Korra things about the spirits and helped her bring the spirits back and keep the gates open. You know, that at least had a lasting effect on the world. You know,
fair. All right, we'll just put it that way.
Just to note,
might as well do Vaatu then.
Vaatu, okay. I guess he could be the same with Unalaq because they're both kind of similar in some sense. Although obviously Vaatu's more chaotic in nature.
Yeah, I mean Vaatu's just like whatever's. He didn't have that much personality for me. And Raava.
I feel like Raava should be a B because at least there's a more depth to her.
Yeah, B. She was a positive character, but I don't know. There's the whole like behind having Raava is kind of to me.
Okay,
so B.
That's fine. Juan,
I'd say A.
Ooh.
S tier.
Really interesting.
S tier. First Avatar, man.
That's true.
First Avatar, such an impactful, like, he was there
2
for a short
episodes.
time,
Yeah.
but had such a big impact. How little he
and-
was there.
And I loved his character. It's just like, he's just a
Yeah.
badass. He's cool.
I'm
Okay.
good with S tier.
Well,
for
you
Avatar
know,
one.
obviously we got J.K. Simmons and then we got Steven Yeun. So they both have to be together.
What do you guys want to do next?
Do you want to do the Red Lotus? Or should we do the twins?
Let's do the twins.
I can't believe they're not separate.
Yeah, that's
weird.
interesting.
Because if it was
That's so
separate,
true.
Yeah,
I would
I'll
have give one a D, one a B. But
I would put Aubrey Plaza higher than the brother.
Oh, we got to give it the average then. C.
so C is the middle average of both.
So
because
just,
we're doing
just
both.
give
No,
Asuka.
they were funny. I mean, Aubrey
That-
Plaza's character was
Yeah,
funny.
but we're not talking. But what about Desna?
I don't know. B. I want to put it at B because I would probably give her character an A, just because of how how much I enjoyed her character. So I think B for both of them.
But they were only
I
one.
can't. I
Yeah.
can't give her an A. I'd give her a B if I can. But obviously we have him, so it's like a middle. I say C. We're going with C, man.
I'm going with C.
Okay.
They didn't make that big of an impression on me, and they didn't have that much of a effect on the rest of the seasons.
I
Personally.
guess I just appreciate Aubrey Plaza more than you guys.
Exactly.
I feel the
Exactly.
same exact way about Opal. All right, so we
Okay,
just have to
fine.
give sacrifices to this
Yeah.
voting system. All right. Let's see. Any
Villains.
character? I'm just gonna go with characters that aren't as important right now. Let's go with Wu.
I think C can be for Wu.
Yeah, I think C as well.
That's fine.
he
I might have
grows up-
put it in B just because he sort of redeemed himself at the end.
He did,
Yeah.
but I feel like he was a D character, and his redemption gave him a C. I don't feel like his redemption gave him 2 points.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. He's not as equal as to Kai. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with Bumi.
All right, this Bumi. This is interesting. I think Bumi. I might put him in A.
Yeah, actually, I might also put him in A because he was a little bit, meh at the beginning, but his growth was really interesting throughout the entire run of the show.
Exactly.
Okay. I like Bumi. What did he do that was that important?
Well, number one, he helped with the what's it called? He helped them with stopping stopping Unalaq, because stopping Unalaq when they were kidnapped, and then that he was able to escape through the spirits, which is impressive since he had no bending. So that was number one. But even more importantly, just him as a character is an interesting character because he's the first child of Aang and Katara, but he has no bending whatsoever. So it's like just thinking
Alright,
about that
that's
nature.
fair.
And then
Yeah,
he
he-
gets bending later on, which is even more interesting just
Yeah.
to see that perspective. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair. That's fair. He also did help them escape season 2 with the whole not even the spirit thing, but also just the tents.
that's
when
what
they
I
were
was talking
captured.
about with the kidnapping.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's see, anyone else? Kaya.
Kaya, I'd say a B.
I'm good with B. Yeah, more positives about her,
Yeah,
but
she didn't do too
not
much.
not too special.
Not too special. Of course, that would be a B as well in my eyes. Yeah.
Anyone else? Let's see.
I guess we gotta get rid of those there's Zhu Li and Varrick. Or you want to get rid of the Red Lotus members?
Let's get rid of the Red Lotus members first. Gazan.
I'd put him B.
He's like the first lava bender that we've ever seen. So
That, and he has some charisma, so I'll give him that.
he's pretty badass.
Yeah, I'm good with B. Same
Minghua.
with yeah.
Mingwall as well as a B, man.
Just for the fact that they're skillful.
Yep, that's really what it is.
Pali.
Same B.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with Julie.
Although I might drop her down to a C just because I feel like she had less personality than the other two.
she just died.
Yeah, that was
I still think she's a B just because I mean,
because
she
we already
saw
got
this-
Sparky Boom Boom Man.
That's true, but I feel like this girl. I still feel like she played a big role.
right.
All right.
With-
Obviously, Zahir's either A or S.
It's an S. There's no
S,
argument
yeah.
on this.
It's S tier. It's S tier. So here's an S tier.
All right. I was just making sure you guys agreed. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's go with Kuvira.
Kuvira. Oh, I forgot we had Kuvira. I'm such a douche. I think Kuvira can be a B at least, because like I do feel like she had big significance for sure, but I don't feel like she had too much of the strong as these A tiers as well.
I don't
And-
know. Comparing Kuvira to Amon, I feel like they could be on the same level.
Yeah, I feel like Kuvira had enough interest and like
Yeah. She forced enough of the philosophical debate, I think, to approach the level that Amon was approaching.
Yeah, and she's also still alive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And she was also pretty badass too.
Yeah, she had some badass things. I guess.
Overruled. No, just kidding.
Overruled. Yeah, you're right. Overruled. Doesn't matter. You're right. Forget it.
I mean, go ahead and say your piece, but like you're still overruled.
To be honest, it doesn't matter at this point. We'll just finish the list
For sure.
All right, dude. That's what you want. All right.
Zhu Li.
Yeah, let's go with Zhu Li first.
I think Julie should be an A.
Hey, interesting.
Really?
I think she's been super useful, even though she's more of a background type of thing.
Yeah, but
she
she does not have as much personality as like so many people.
It doesn't. I
the
feel like
B tier list.
Okay, how can you not describe her personality when she was able to switch up against Varrick like that? That takes charisma or some level of
But that was
to be
one
able to do
scene.
that.
That was one scene.
Even if it's one, first of all, it's not even just one scene. It was multiple scenes. There was multiple episodes.
I am not about to put Julie above Opal or like Kai or like just no. I'm sorry. I ain't about to do that.
Fair. I guess if we were comparing it to Kai and Opal, sure.
Yeah.
Varrick, all right,
S.
no problem.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at S tier.
Now we have Team Avatar. This is an interesting one because I don't feel like all of them can be multiple tiers.
Can we put
Mako, let's start with
Mako in D tier?
I think Mako deserves. Okay, I think for everything Mako's been through, I think he at least believes a B. I think
B, that's really high.
No, B is perfect
really
for Mako
high.
because we
on
know
now.
we know that Mako can't be an S, right? Because that's too
not
too
even a
ridiculous.
discussion.
That's not reality. He could have been an A, but I think the way they utilize his character, there just wasn't much with him. So,
Yeah.
But I do think he had a lot of utility in the show where it's like, number one, he was a detective. He was smart. He was useful. I mean, number two, he helped with that, helped destroy Kuvira's super weapon and whatnot. So there's just so much usefulness with Mako that for me to just lower him to a C or a D is disingenuous.
I don't know. I feel like the way he just played around with Korra and Asami.
Yeah, that was the first
like
season,
his personality.
His first season,
is
even the
so-
ending of the season. I think we gotta ignore first season and see how he.
No, we
developed.
can't ignore it. That was
I'm not saying ignore it, but the point is, if we were just to compare a character of first season, then we'll have to look at Zuko and be like, well, Zuko's bad because first season Zuko, blah blah blah. No, we like Zuko because he transformed. Mako doesn't have a strong
Did he even
transformation.
grow? Like, that's
Yes,
the thing.
he did
like-
grow a little bit. He did grow. It wasn't as strong of a growth, but it was a growth.
Fine, maybe he's not D. Maybe he's not D, but B, I still feel like B is really high.
I think B is good enough for him. B is the perfect amount for this.
Yeah,
Scott.
I agree with you, OC, in a lot of ways, but I just think the fact that he got more screen time and his relationship with every other character boosts him up. Like he's at least better than these guys. At
Yeah,
the C tier.
exactly.
But he's definitely he's not A at least.
It's definitely not OA.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
like a lot of people in B tier better than Mako. Like, for instance, Opal and Kai, I like them better than Mako for sure. But saying that the Red Lotus members, I mean, I guess some of them are more badass than Mako, but
But that's a one area. We have to understand Mako's more than just badassness, right? There's other aspects of Mako that's important.
yeah, it's tough, dude. If there was like an in-between tier of B and C, I'd put Mako there, along with some of these other people. But
That's fair.
all right,
We'll start with the
Bolin.
brother, Bolin. This is hard.
A.
Yeah, A is probably perfect.
Yeah.
A is
Bolin
probably
A.
perfect. Yeah, I wanted to say S, but no, he's just not there yet.
He's not S. He's not S. I disliked Bolin in season 3. The first time I watched it.
I never disliked Bolin.
I just
Neither.
like
That's where
Bolin
he
in
learned
season 2 too.
lava bending.
Yeah, I thought he got it way too easy, dude. Like I was like, seriously, he just like wills it and then gets it. He didn't train for it whatsoever.
Sometimes you just gotta know it's possible.
Maybe there's a theory that since Bolin is like his mom is a firebender, there's sort of a genetic thing that kind of motivates behind the lava bending.
Maybe, but at the same time, season 2, he was just like an asshole. He was just so prideful and so like blind to everything that was going on with him. Around him.
But at the same time, he also was the one who started to notice that something was off with Team Avatar. So it's like he also was the thing that kind of helped it.
Okay, book 4 was when I started loving him like crazy. That's why Like him and Varrick, their interactions were just great. Before that book, I didn't really like Bolin that much. I thought his jokes didn't land for me personally.
Yeah, verbally, but I do think the situations he was in was pretty comedic, especially when he was nut tuck. I love the nut tuck stuff.
To each their own.
Yeah.
We're okay with A?
A is perfect.
A is good.
Okay. Asami?
I'm gonna have to put her A. I wanted to put her S, but I just don't feel like they used it. I never. Whoa. I think you're missing. Whoa. Before we jump into conclusions here, I wanted to, but I don't feel like she's had enough of a character, a push for me to want her to put her in S. So I think A is perfect for me.
Why A though? A is still really high. I'm thinking B.
I think A is her utility is very, very important in the show. Not to mention, I think that she does play, like I said, a strong emotional support to Korra, being her first female friend, like actual female friend that's not Naga, and then now they develop to be a lover. So I just think, and then not to mention, considering that her father was, Korra kind of essentially ruined her life.
She got a good story in the first season where she chose not to be with her father, but
exactly
that was good. Yeah, I think that was the most interesting that she gets, though. She's kind of boring in my opinion. I don't know.
I liked the arc where she also made up with her father.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was a good emotional thing for her. So it's like, if you really think about it, she's gone. Like I said, I feel like Korra ruined her life, but yet she's made it a positive. That's like something.
And then book 2 also was very weak in my opinion for her. But it was weak for literally everyone, in my opinion, except for... It was weak for everyone in Team Avatar, except for Korra herself.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even do much until the very end.
Exactly.
So, and then book 3, yeah, she wasn't really that important in book 3. So I can see where you're coming from, OC.
I know. I think she was her utility is really good. She plays a strong emotional support as well as she had an emotional arc with Korra. And I just think even with book 3, the part where she escaped from the ships, that's something where it's that's still an important thing that Asami couldn't have done. Asami was the only one who could have done with that. So it's I don't know, at the end of the day, she has a strong significance, and I think an A is a good one for her.
All right, what are you thinking, Scott? Especially
if we're putting Bolin in A.
I think Bolin is better than Asami, but okay. What are you thinking, Scott?
I can see both of your points. I'm just I personally don't mind either one, A or B. I like her character a lot, but again, she didn't play huge roles in book 2 or 3.
Should we flip a coin?
We should flip the coin.
I feel like putting her in B just because Opal's there, and I'm they're kind of equal to me.
Well, I don't know, but that's
in my opinion, I like Opal better.
You like Opal?
Yeah. But how useful Opal is compared to Asami?
I vote B. I vote B already.
All right.
B or whatever. I guess it's 2.
That's exactly how I felt about Opal.
Whatever.
Okay, Opal's an airbender, right? She fought bandits too, and she's pretty badass.
She's badass, but we're talking about use for Team Avatar.
Asami's also badass. Exactly. She had that electric glove and everything.
She's done that. She'll be on the level of Mako. If it wasn't for Asami, they wouldn't. If it wasn't for Asami, they wouldn't have found Opal. So,
but we're talking about. I think what it is for me personally is we're talking about the Team Avatar members, and I think that I feel like they should be at a higher standard. Just for me personally, because when you look at the original Team Avatar, the one non-bender Sokka. Compare Sokka to Asami, I think it's not even a comparison.
Oh shit, dude! This argument.
I think it's just for you to be a part of the Team Avatar and be a non-member, you got to bring a lot. And
I think she brings enough for what that's going on.
She brought her dad's tech.
And she knows how to use her dad's tech, which is important.
It's important. But at the same time, comparing that to the strategic mind of somebody like Sokka, and then even just the other people on this list, I feel like B is perfect for her.
I think A is to put her on the same level as Mako is where I just don't really agree at all.
I would put Mako lower. Lower. But hey, if we're bringing Mako up, I'm fine with bringing Asami down.
No.
There honestly needs to be something here, dude.
Asami, oh man, Asami is definitely definitely a big character within the series. There's definitely a lot of things that I wouldn't have done without her, and it's just the emotional support and everything. It's just that's the way I would put it.
Solution solved. Boom.
We're putting Mako in C. We can't put Mako with Wu. That's just I don't know. This is evil.
All right, let's just keep it at B. Let's just keep
Fine.
Okay, last but not least,
we obviously got to put her at D because everyone hates Korra. But
We're not
let's be
doing that.
real
We're
here.
not
Let's be
doing that.
real here. She's an S.
Is she S? I don't know, S or A.
S.
Let's have the discussion. S or A.
She's an S. There's no argument on that.
What's I mean, the big thing is that like she let the Avatar line die.
Yeah, but okay, is it really
yeah,
okay? I
that
have a
was-
question on that. Is it really her fault or is it Unalaq's fault? Because if we want to make the argument that that's her fault, then we can make the argument that Aang almost destroyed the whole Avatar thing because he got struck by lightning by Azula, and if it wasn't for some magical water, the Avatar thing wouldn't exist. So my question is, if we want to play that game, we should play that game with Aang.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
It is Unalaq's fault.
I
So
think what
we want to play responsibility.
are you adding a B minus?
I'm sorry, I just had to.
B
Like,
minus.
anyway, I think one of the things. So Korra's a really great character. I don't know if she's S tier. I think she had a lot of problems for me, especially in season 2. I didn't really appreciate her character at all in season 2. She got on my nerves a lot. But then after that, she kind of grew. Season 3 was great. Season 4 was great. So I don't know. I think S tier kind of requires more consistency from me. The fact that because I really disliked Korra in season 2. And the fact that I had that like strong dislike of the character at one point kind of bothers me and makes it an issue for me to put her as high as S tier.
Okay, I'm curious about something. When you first watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, and let's ignore the ending to where a character gets to a certain point, what about Zuko? How much did you like Zuko in season 1?
I've always liked Zuko. Like
You
Zuko
always
was always
liked Zuko.
Well, I mean, so Zuko as a villain is a likable character. He's always been a likable character to me. So he never got on my nerves in the way that
He never
like
got you nervous at all.
Well, the thing is, he never got on my nerves in the way that Korra gets on my nerves. Because Korra's not, she doesn't become a likable, she's no longer a likable character in season 2. She's just absolutely unlikable. Like, it bothers me to watch her. Whereas with Zuko, it's like, oh, I enjoy watching this villain who has this like drive to find the Avatar. So it's not the same in that regard.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I explain? It's
no,
like,
that's fair.
I can see what you're saying.
I get it.
I can see what you're saying. I think. I think I wanted to make the clear distinction between like a character doing something that you like, as in being like, because for example, Zuko. The reason why I always make the comparison between Korra and Zuko is like they're both sort of like the hot-headed, stubborn sort of temper thing that they need Uncle Iroh to kind of guide them. Ironically, right? But at the same time. Yeah. It's like because they go through that journey of frustration and, failure, and it's only through failure that they learn and grow. That's what also makes them such a strong characters together. Now, obviously context is different, right? Obviously Zuko's a villain, so it's easy for us to, in some ways it's easy to, it's not that you don't want him to fail, but you're more okay with him failing versus the protagonist, right? And obviously they have a big story context, but I just think that whenever I hear the argument of like, well, this character is, and it's fair, everyone has their opinions, right? But when people make the argument that this character is bad because they did these certain actions, and then this other character did certain actions as well, I think that that's where it's like, we can't just say something's bad because of actions. We have to put in other aspects of context. So I'm just making sure that I just want that to be a clear distinction.
Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of times, even with season 2 of Korra, I think the reason why I'm able to forgive a lot of things, despite that I didn't like what her decisions were, because I think I agree that she was unlikable until the Wan stuff, but after Wan stuff, I don't think she did anything that I can say was like, how dare you say that? Like, how dare you do that? I feel like at that point, she was a normal, natural.
Yeah, this
character.
is the thing for me is that like the A tier list is like, again, I go back to Amon, like everything is great except for like a little drawback. Mm-hmm. There's like a lot of great stuff for all of these characters, just a little drawback, and that's the drawback for me with Korra.
Okay, I see.
I mean, I guess I'm the tiebreaker. I'd like to keep her an S, just because I feel like as far as main characters go, she showed a lot of growth throughout each season, and to me she's a likable character, and in the end she's definitely someone that's like a character I will remember and just consider one of my favorite characters in the Avatar universe, because I think she's cool and she does a lot of growing throughout the series.
I honestly think she has a better character development than Aang does, so that's another reason why I'm definitely putting her on S tier.
Anyways, I created this B+ world, guys, and I wish to propose placing these guys up here.
Asami.
I'm just saying.
You know what, we're done.
In my opinion, these three characters are better than the ones in B. Personally, I just think they had way more like better moments, better overall like time to shine, like time overall, and just, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Korra's dad, really? Like, are we really about to put these three at the same level as Korra's dad?
That's fair.
Fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
even
let's
Zhu
do
Li,
it.
B+. I'm fine. I'm totally cool with that.
Okay, fair. All right, fine.
All right.
We needed that. Otherwise, this list would have been, there would have been something wrong with it. I can't leave it like that.
Fair.
Right?
Okay.
Fair. We'll keep
right.
it like this. I think
You put Sokka in
B+.
Talked about his boomerang. All right.
Okay, I think we're done now.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. So this is our Avatar tier list.
Avatar Korra.
Avatar Legend of Korra tier list. Let's be
Yes.
clear here.
Mm-hmm.
Avatar Legend of Korra tier list. Let us know your opinion of the tier list, and as well as how long you've been watching the series, whether you're a new person who watched it on Netflix or you're one of the original OGs like us that watched it 10 years ago. And, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Happy 10th anniversary, Legend of
Happy
Korra.
10th anniversary.